So we have two girls from Chandigarh and we have one guest from Coorg, right? Coorg, I think it's very famous for coffee plantations and that's the hills that you have. How come? Skiing.
Coorg has masala also.
Yeah,
Spices.
not to miss that.
That's the part.
For me, it started with, for me, it started with a movie. You know, I was studying in a boarding school in the hills of Coorg, surrounded by coffee plantation. Never knew snow existed as a kid. So as I grew up, I ended up watching A Jawani Diwani movie in my 12th grade. So that movie sparked interest for me to go to the Himalayas and see the mountains. But typical South Indian parents always told me study well, study well. That's the end of your end goal of your life. So I was also a girl who was focusing more on my education while growing up, so didn't do much of sports. But after watching this movie, I had this thing that I want to go to the Himalayas one day when I start working maybe and become independent. But then I had a different life altogether. NCC came into my life very surprisingly. A person who was never outdoor, didn't do any sports as a kid. I took up NCC only because they said I can fly an aircraft if I joined the NCC Air Wing. So I joined NCC and NCC got me to the mountains.
Well, it's quite surprising, you know. If you watched Rocky, you want to become a boxer. You watched Chariots of Fire, you want to become an athlete. And you watch Escape to Victory, you want to become a footballer. But Jawani Hai Diwani, that's quite inspiring for me also. You know, first time a Hindi Bollywood movie is making waves, and IT's loss has been skiing's gain, right?
Actually, that movie just got me to the mountains. And then again, there was one more movie called Eddie the Eagle. It's an autobiography about a British ski jumper. So that movie kind of sparked the interest in me to try skiing just for fun. And here I am representing India.
That's great to have you on the panel. Now we have these wonderful two shooters from the city and the vicinity. The first exposure I got about shooting was when I was in school. And they said that we are now we are going to have a shooting range here. And we thought we were going to have some kind of actors coming here and doing some kind of shooting, you know. Have any one of you, out of you both, experienced something like this कि आप shooting करते हैं, कहाँ पर आपकी shooting हो रही है, कौन actor आ रहे हैं, something like that?
It has happened quite a few many times. Especially when I'm traveling with a shotgun, so usually sometimes they stop us to check the cars or something during elections. So they would ask me, where are you coming from? So I would say from shooting. So they said, kaun si picture ki shooting karke aa rahe ho? So then we would just go along with it only. Sometimes to skip the checking and to have to explain that I'm a shooter, I'm from the Indian team. So that has happened.
And with you, Raiza?
The same has happened with me when I started shooting in school. A lot of my friends were really excited, like, oh my god, you're going to get into Bollywood, it's going to be so fascinating, will you join your trips? And I was like, no, it's not that kind of shooting, it's a very different kind of shooting, but I definitely prefer the sport kind of shooting.
And when you guys travel, you know, I've seen those huge guns that you have. Do you get any kind of trouble with the customs in any other countries, wherever you travel?
Yes, actually I have. So I had just won the first senior medal for India, and it happened right then while I was coming back. There was a cartridge left in my bag, and they got to know in Kazakhstan. And they took it quite seriously. They thought I'm going to do something really wrong, or I was like, I'm a shooter, what am I going to do with this? You know, I have many lying at home. They just wouldn't understand, but thankfully the federation got in between the conversation with them and everything, and they let me go. But it is quite difficult when we travel with weapons. We have to usually go before 4 to 5 hours just to get a weapon check done. And that is quite tiring, especially when we're going for a tournament. Unlike other sports, we just don't have to right away get into check-in, check our bags in. Here we have to go through a really long process. So it is quite tiring and difficult.
There's a story that I saw on the, not on Instagram or anywhere, on the internet, where you talked about your golden gun, right? You had to get some fitments done from Italy, some big guy in Italy, and yeah, they make gun fitters there too, other than fashion. So, but the biggest thing that you got was from a furniture shop in Chandigarh. Tell us about that.
So basically, my dad's into furniture, and the stock that we use is usually wooden and half metal, you can say. So I really do like to get it customized according to myself. So I am a girl and I'm really girly. Not, you wouldn't say that I'm a sports person and you would look at me. So I really like to just get a different color done on it, or really get it customized to however I want. So that's how my dad's played a really big role in that way.
And Raiza, you represented India at the Sydney Olympics, Paris Olympics, sorry. So tell us about that journey.
So I started shooting in 2019, and for me it was a fairly new sport when I went for the Kuwait qualification. And I did not have any expectation of winning the quota there. I had just gone with the goal of enjoying the competition and enjoying the process of it. But when I made it into the final, I sort of started getting excited at the thought of maybe participating at the Olympics, and I was like, I'm just going to take it one step at a time and enjoy this final. And I think the more I was enjoying it, the more I was getting excited about the future of it. So then it was just like a dream come true to win the first quota in skeet for my country and participate in the Paris Games. Yes.
So if you could just explain in just a few lines, about skeet, that's the thing when you throw those things into the air and you go to hit those clay pigeons. Are they pigeons, right? Okay. Can you just tell in just really a few words?
So I'll make it really simple. So in shotgun we have two types of events. We have skeet and trap, and they both do require a clay target. And in trap they come out from the front, but you don't really know which direction they're going to come out in. And I do skeet, so in that we have two houses and the birds come out of there, and we have to mount and shoot them.
Really wonderful, adds to my knowledge also. Do you guys do any kind of target practice at home, throwing your socks into the laundry basket or throwing a coin into a glass? Do you guys do that?
I do it a lot, especially with my mom. I see a dustbin anywhere, I'm like, Mom, look, my under body. So it's just like my favorite hobby with my mom, to just, show off my skills at home.
And you?
So this funny thing happened. I was at the Asian Games, and before, during the games, they have these small events where you get to participate, and you have these target aiming games as well. But in skeet shooting, we don't really aim at a target directly, like how in pistol and rifle it is. So I tried this game there. I was really bad at it, and then I got to know that in skeet shooting, we don't really see the target and we have to hit on the target. We give it a certain lead, so we have to hit a little ahead of the target. So that way, it's a bit different than other shooting sports.
I'm sure both of you are not allowed at any kind of these melas and fairs, where they have those balloons there. You would just win them with closed eyes, and all the teddy bears that you could get hold of.
They're all tailored for you to shoot wrongly.
Wrong.
They're all modified.
Modified. So next time, give it a shot. Back to Bhavani. You were telling me something about the challenges that you face, especially the one in Gulmarg. Can you please tell us that?
As we spoke, winter sports is like a very specific season sports. We cannot play throughout the year, and we need ice or snow to be competing in. So I come from south, so I had to travel all the way to Kashmir or Himachal or Uttarakhand, where I can get on the snows and practice. So for it's been 6 years since I've been competing for the Indian team, and 6 years since I've started cross country as well. What I've seen is that the tracks where we train is open for tourists to walk on. So the tourists don't walk on the sides, they will walk on the ski tracks because it's easy for them to walk because it's groomed and it's hard, so their shoes doesn't get sinked in. So it feels very difficult. So every time the competition I win a medal, the only thing I'm talking to the organizers or the ministry who come over there for the event is that, can you please block the cross-country track only for cross-country athletes and not allow the tourists to walk on the tracks, because the tourism department doesn't even groom our tracks. thanks to the Indian Army, they are preparing the tracks because they have really amazing winter teams. But when Army doesn't come to groom the tracks, we don't have tracks. And unfortunately, when the tourist walks on those tracks, we don't have facilities to train in those tracks again. So since the time I have been going and competing, all I tell them is, can you please open a hostel over here for athletes coming from different parts of India so that they can come and spend months together training over here, because Kashmir is really expensive. Like Gulmarg charges 4,000, 5,000 rupees for a basic room. So obviously an athlete cannot afford that. And the second thing was, can you please block those tracks and keep it only for the skiers to come on those tracks, because that will sustain the snow for a longer duration. Even in Europe, what they do is that you cannot get on the tracks without skis on. So that helps. Even the sides of the ski tracks, there is no snow, but there's snow on the track because the snow is sustained for a longer duration for the athletes, because there's no other usage other than the skiers on that track. So I have been requesting that to the organizers, but still we don't see any changes, and I hope it happens.
Maybe soon things are going to change. And yesterday I was talking to her, so she told me the price of the skis that they have and the equipment. What did you say? What price was it?
So one racing kit is around 2.5 lakhs.
So 2.5 lakhs, I thought, okay, fair enough, that's not too bad. The cricket bats are 60,000 bucks, 70,000 bucks. But then she gave me the biggest scare of my life. She said, we need to have around 12 pairs of skis along with us. So you multiply that by 12, and that becomes a huge amount. And Raiza, how much does the guns cost?
So I do shotgun shooting, and shotgun shooting is quite expensive. There's a lot of equipment. Our gun costs, the range costs from 8 to 10 lakhs, and then we have a set of glasses we wear that help us see the target better, and they're quite expensive as well. So I think it's really difficult for a person who has no background in shooting to start it, especially because in shotgun shooting we do need a license. We can't shoot without a license. So in order to equip the license, also you need to go through a lot of struggles. So it can be very difficult to start the sport.
So for a start, how much money do you need,
Quite a bit. I don't want to put a number on it, but quite a bit. It can.
8 to 10
it
lakhs?
can. Yes, it can
For a start.
definitely.
And
be-
how many did you say? 24, 25 lakhs, right?
Yeah.
तो इनके साथ बैठ के बड़ी गरीब टाइप फीलिंग हो रही है ना?
But I started with rental skis from the army. I didn't have anything with me. I just went there, and luckily there's Johor Institute of Mountaineering and Winter Sports in Kashmir, where I was working part-time. So they helped me borrow skis. So I competed with the borrowed skis from, I think, 2000 models for like 2 years, until I finally owned a first pair of skis. And till now I don't have 12 pairs though.
Soon you will. Ganemat, you're all set to shoot, concentrating, everything. Somebody, you just want to take the shot, somebody coughs in the background.
That's very normal. Very used to it, because a lot of people use it as a way to disturb you. But coughing is something really like, it's very easy to like come over that. We really don't focus on such things. But a lot of things happen where you're distracted. But we usually train in such a way where the coach may be just shouting at you from the background, trying to like get you used to such things. Because in our final we have music playing at the background, and people are allowed to like scream, shout, do whatever they want. So that's allowed. So we are sort of used to all of this.
Wow, that's again something I didn't know. I thought coughing was not allowed and no noise. So, how do you prepare for any big event?
So preparing for any big event would take at least a month's training. So we have national camps for the team in Delhi usually, which is funded by the federation, which is a really good thing for us shooters. Everything is paid for by the federation, and I'm really grateful for that. So we have international coaches coming in who train us as well. And I have my personal coach as well from Cyprus, so he really helps me out. We have mental trainers on ground. I am funded by Reliance Foundation, so they have a whole team which is behind me, guiding me how to prepare, how to peak at the right time, taking an off day. It's like any other sport, but you can say that we don't have many facilities. Like there's no government shotgun range by Punjab. Like till now, like there's so many shooters, and mostly they're all from Punjab. So I feel that it's high time now that they have a range here in Punjab or even in Chandigarh. So we have to like really travel almost 1 hour or maybe more because of the traffic nowadays to just go train on our own. But otherwise we do have camps in Delhi which helps us, and we have hostels there to stay on the range. So that was, it's really good.
गरीब टाइप फीलिंग की लेवल और बढ़ गया है इसमें. So, Raiza, how do you keep calm? It must be so difficult traveling and living out of the zoot and things like that. कैसे करते हो आप?
I think a lot of it comes with experience, but if you just really focus on your own process and not really care about what's happening around you, it becomes really easy. You just learn how to cut off from certain situations. And then we're a quite big team that travels together, and I think having good, fun teammates makes it really easy. And yeah, that's it. I like to only focus on my own process and my own goals, and that just cuts off all the distractions.
इनको शूटर्स को जो शूटिंग का मेडल मिलता है वो तो मिलना ही चाहिए. They should get one more for standing still. It's so inspiring,
Actually, in our sport, we don't have to
you
stand
guys have to
still.
move
We have
and you have to look for the hunt for the target. Ever gotten angry in a group of friends and they say, okay, now I'll take the last shot. Has it happened?
Quite a few times, yes.
I hope you haven't taken it literally, huh?
अभी बाकी है.
किसी झगड़े में. Bhavna, now what? Where do you see yourself in the next 2 years?
Preparing for the Asian Winter Games in Kazakhstan.
And you, Raiza?
I have a few goals that I've set for this year to perform better in the international level, but I really overall want to enhance my skills and enhance my mental strength, so I think that's what I'm really focusing on this year.
I do also have a lot of goals, but recently only I made the national record. And I made it again. So this time I want to focus more internationally and hopefully get a few records there as well as a few medals internationally. So those are one of my goals.
And Bhavani, the most scariest moment that you ever encountered while skiing or mountaineering? She does both.
Scariest, yes, at that point it was. I was stuck in Iceland, so in skiing we don't have any support from the federation, so it's basically individual sports, done everything on your own. So I was traveling to different countries. Obviously I didn't have fun in the initial days, so I used to 100 people asking for support. I've slept in the couches of random people's house and figured out. So once I was in Iceland, and I reached Iceland for a race, and then when I reached the international airport, they said I have to take a domestic charter flight. So the domestic airport was 45 minutes from the international airport. So I asked the people over there, they said either you have to take a taxi or a bus. So obviously taxi is way too expensive in Europe, so I chose to take the bus. They said last bus goes at 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. in the morning, and then you have the next bus at 6:30 a.m. My flight is at 7:15, so obviously 6:30 is not an option for me, so I chose to take the 2 o'clock bus. I took the 2 o'clock bus. The bus driver drops me 50 meters away from the domestic airport entrance, because that's where the bus stops. I take my huge ski bag, which is like a dead body size. I dragged it to the entrance of the airport gate, and it says the airport reopens at 6:30 in the morning. And the temperature was minus 18, minus 19 degree. There's literally nobody until my eyes could reach, and I was like so stuck. I didn't know what to do, and I was like, come on, I'm a sports person. It's just 3 hours, I can manage it, and I have all my warm clothes and stuff. So that was my mindset when I realized it's closed. So I just put my bag in one corner. I sat down there. I put on the music. But after some times, I couldn't bear the cold. I took off every single jackets and every single clothes I had in my ski bag and put on everything. But I kept walking. I tried running, but I couldn't take because it was really, really freezing cold. But God's grace, there was no much wind, because if there was wind, I would have not managed it. But there was no wind that time, and after a point, I couldn't bear the pain. My hands and feet, everything was frozen. So I called my mom and I told my mom, can you please pick me up from here? I'm done with skiing, I'm not coming back to the sport. I don't want to do the sport anymore. It's very brutal, and I just want to come back home. If you don't come and pick me up right now, I don't think I'll reach back home. This was my sentence to her, and I'm crying. And my mom simply says, how can we come to Iceland right now, She couldn't understand what I was going through, but yeah, that was said. And then, somehow I managed those days. And that point of time, I wanted to quit skiing, for the first time I said my parents that I'm done. I don't think I want to continue this. It's very brutal. It's very hard. I don't have any funds. After all these years, I still don't have any sponsors. I don't have any funds coming up. I'll stop this competition. My sister calls me up in the evening, my younger sister. She said, do you think my parents do you think we are all crazy and stupid enough to spend all these lakhs of money on you for all these years for you to now decide that you want to quit this sport? Shut up and go and do your race tomorrow. This was her exact sentence, and then she just dropped the calls. But I'm thankful to her that she didn't let me quit that day, and I'm still competing, and I won the first international medal for India.
Very nice. The shooters, we are back to them. Any rituals do you guys have, like other sports people? Small ritual or any superstition? Left foot forward from the bed. Ulti chappal ko seedha karna.
I think I have with color combinations during my match days. I have specific colors I would wear on specific days, and I feel like if I don't do it that way, it's just not going to go according to me. So for me, it's definitely just color combinations of my outfits.
And the favorite song before you pick up the gun for the competition?
It keeps changing because we have so many tournaments. You just sort of start getting sick of the songs you're listening to. But recently, it's this song I heard called Victory Lap is really my favorite, so I keep listening to that.
And yours, Ganemat?
I don't really have any superstitions. I used to when I just started shooting. But then at some point, I realized, anything can change at any point of time. So I just take whatever comes my way with the positive thing, and I just go with the flow. And I think that really works for me.
And you, ma'am?
No, nothing else.
Nothing as such?
Yeah.
So now we open it for the audience for any questions. We have, sir, he wants to ask a question.
Mr. Sidhu, he's the one who connected us.
Just two incidents for the shooters. First question is directed at you, Ganemat. I don't know if you've heard of Vincent Hancock, the doyen of ski. 2008 Olympics gold, 12 gold, dipped in 16, 20 Olympics gold, 22. And he trains with all, like you said, music, shouting, disturbances, all weathers. Whenever he misses, he gives himself a verbal this thing. And probably he says, I go back to my fundamentals. And he's proven it over 16 years. So I think you can learn a lot from him. I mean, it's almost impossible to replicate the dedication he's had. And number two is for Raiza. I don't know if you've heard of Matthew Dry. Skeet used to be a 200 shot event. In 84 Olympics, he missed the first shot, he missed the second shot. He won the gold by shooting 198. That kind of mental toughness. So if you can explain, I mean, what do you focus so intently to reach such a level that those missed shots don't affect you?
So a lot of people would believe that shooting is a very technical and physical sport, but a lot of mental strength goes into it. And I've only been shooting for 6-7 years, so I don't know how well Vincent Hancock or any other legendary shooter prepares himself mentally. But what I think has worked always for me in shooting really well, especially in important competitions like when I had won the quota and even when I had equaled Ganemat's national record, is that you don't really focus on the result, but you focus on the process of it, and you don't let certain small setbacks enter into your mind and take over you. It repeatedly, every psychologist I have spoken to has always said, if you focus on the process of your technique and you enjoy that process, it all of a sudden becomes a very easy thing to participate in that tournament. And I think by the end of the day, you always play a sport to enjoy it. At least that's what my father says, that you have a good day or a bad day, you have to come back with a smile on your face because you're playing the sport to enjoy it. So you enjoy the process, you enjoy the setbacks, and you come back stronger. So that's
For me as well, like I do take a lot of inspiration from Vincent Hancock, and I have seen how the Americans are training, but their psychological, like how they train and the mental ability is commendable. I would say that I would aspire to reach that stage one day, because whenever I've been part of the final internationally, they are always there. The Americans are always in the final. And they're just simply enjoying themselves. They're talking to each other. It's like another day for them. But at the same time, when you see them sitting, you can see the pressure on them. It's just that they don't show it to us. So I think that energy and that vibe, I would say, that they bring to the sport, or that mental strength that they show on the range, is something that us Indians should work on. Because one thing is that they're dominating the sport because of this. Us Indians, what we do is we sometimes feel we're not worth even reaching that point. So when I started shooting, there weren't many female shooters. It was very difficult to just go internationally and come in the final. But when I saw how they were approaching this game and how they did this for themselves, and they didn't, you can say, they didn't think that, that they're here to prove something to someone. They were just simply enjoying this, because the level that they are put at when they win a medal, it's nothing for them. But for us, it's a big deal. So we do carry that baggage along with us. So I think it really helps when we just go and enjoy this.
Thank you very much, panel. Thank you very much, audience.
I've been sitting quietly since the morning, so I thought I'd take the mic for a minute. Have you noticed that all the sports persons on the stage since the morning have been ladies? Only the moderators have been gentlemen, and only the administrators have been gentlemen, and one keynote speaker was a gentleman, but the sports persons have been ladies. This is a celebration of sport and inspiring conversations. It's also a celebration of womanhood. Nothing to do with Women's Day, which was on 8th March. It is basically a year-long inspiration that we have to carry. Because each and every word that they say is something that is close to my heart. I'm sure it's tingling something in your hearts. Because there is something here which we miss in all other festivals and all other seminars and all other events. Sports is the greatest inspiration on the planet. Thank you very much, guys, for this. And in alphabetical order, Bhavani, Ganemat and Raiza, they were superb.
Thank you very much. Great interacting with you.
You said I would like to add something to that, if I may.
Thank you so much. I invite Colonel D.S. Chima and Saguna Jain to please honor our panelists.
Just 1 minute, ma'am would like to take. Amar, ma'am.
That was a beautiful observation. Thank you for celebrating with me. But I do wish that we got equal recognition also. The men winning the World Cup, they get 300 plus crores. The women win it, and you know what they got? Peanuts. So please honor them at the same time.
You have a point, ma'am.